I purchased a Corbin seat for my 2008 Kawasaki Z1000. According to Corbin, this is the correct seat for my bike. However, after multiple attempts, I'm still not able to get the seat to fit properly, and Corbin refuses to take it back. They're adamant that there's nothing wrong with the design. I'd like to show you how it fit on the bike, and so that you can be aware of this issue and make sure it doesn't happen to you. This is the bike with the stock Kawasaki seat installed. You can tell that the seat fits fine, pretty much all the way around. No issues getting the seat on or off the bike. Notice before I remove the stock seat that you can see a piece of plastic right here that fits under the back of the seat. I'm going to show you more about that when I take the seat off. This piece of plastic serves as a cover over top of the wiring and the battery terminals, which are right here. If you look at points here and here, these are the seat latches. You can tell those are in a flat horizontal plane, whereas the plastic clearly has an arc to it to allow clearance for the wiring and the battery terminals underneath. When I first received the Corbin seat and I went to install it, it doesn't even come close to meeting the latch points on the side. You can see I can actually put my entire finger underneath the sides of the seats where those latches are, right about in here. Whereas it's actually touching the center of that arched plastic cover that covers up the wiring. When I first contacted Corbin, they said to put shims underneath the tongue and the front of the seat, which would allow the back to drop a little bit further. Here is the seat sitting on the bike with the shims installed under the front tongue. You can see that it made very little difference to the clearance in the back, and it's still hitting on that high spot where that plastic goes across. You can see if I press down here really hard in the center, I'm flexing that plastic piece in the middle as the seat comes down a little bit closer. But I'm exerting quite a bit of force on that. Even with the shims under the front tongue, I still wasn't able to get the rear of the seat close enough to where it would latch. So the next thing that I did is I installed shims under the rear brackets as well. This time around I have shims in all three spots, under the tongue as well as under both of the rear seat latches. You can see that we're still hitting on the high spot, and there's still a substantial amount of room underneath the back corners of the seat. If I press down, I can flex the plastic, but still not enough to get the seat to latch. If I slam my fist on it, I can get it to come down, but when I did that, I cracked the plastic here. Here's a close-up. You can see where the plastic is cracked on this side. It's also cracked in the same spot on the other side. You see it flex down right here when it cracked the plastic. You can see here on the other side it cracked in two spots and also cracked the paint right through here. When you remove that plastic cover, you can see the two battery terminals and that wiring harness plug that were underneath that. With the stock seat back on the bike again now, you can see the clearance between the top of the battery terminals and the back of the seat. You can see that nothing is touching with that piece of plastic off. Here's the picture with the Corbin seat on. You can see the amount of pressure that the seat is putting on the battery terminal cover, and that's without the plastic on there. So you can imagine the kind of pressure that's on that when I'm pressing this thing down to get it to latch, when there's the piece of plastic between these two. Obviously, the curvature of the Corbin seat is not correct for this bike.